Hi Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. And I'd love to be all optimistic as I try to be, because I think supporting a football team is ultimately a thing you do for fun and entertainment. I'm in a bit of a funk today about Tottenham Hotspur, the greatest football team the world has ever seen. Woke up this morning and saw the news on Twitter that, and it's from Fabrizio Romano, that looks like our powers that be are meeting with the Bayern Munich poobahs, and it looks like Harry Kane might be going. It looks like there might be an offer on the table of, you know, with add-ons and all that, near enough £100 million, and that's it. And you know, I'm just a little bit exasperated with the incompetence of this football club, or this company at the moment. So I'm just wondering, you know, could there have been a different world where a couple of months ago we bought in the likes of a Tapsoba and a Van der Ven? Maybe Harry Kane's head wouldn't have been turned as much, but no, we didn't do that. We dragged it out, and it looks to me like we're doing the same old sell to buy rubbish that we've been doing for the last 20 years. We can't buy any players until we sell. Oh, we've got to sell Harry Kane before we buy some players. And really, it's a false economy, because we're going to sell Harry Kane, 100 million. Now, if we do make any purchases until the transfer window closes, they're going to have a nice little bit of Harry Kane tax on them, aren't they? Clubs are going to hold out for an extra 5-10 million. It could cost us, you know, 10-20 million if we buy two players. We could be paying 20 million more for them. This is what's happened in the past when we sold big players. We've just gone out and bought a whole load of rubbish on the cheap, but overpriced, and I don't know what to say. I don't get how these people that run our football club can and I know this is what they think they're doing a good job. They think they're brilliant at running the football club. Daniel Levy and Donna Cullen and the like, you know, not Joe Lewis, because he's been too busy banging 23-year-olds, and he's a spot of bother now. You know, look at the situation our club's still in. We still don't have a director of football. Not that I care too much about that. But Scott Munn, remember the Scott Munn guy, the Australian guy that was coming over from Citigroup, supposed to start 1st of July. Last headline is there's a bit of a delay. So what's going on there? What is going on there? We haven't bought any defence. And if it's one thing our two pre-season friendlies have shown us so far, is if you attack Tottenham, you're going to score a goal. We've had 5 attacks against us and we've conceded 4 goals. And it's the same old dopey mistakes at the back from the likes of Sanchez and Ben Davies. And then Dyer did his bit to not do anything because he can't play football. He doesn't understand the game of football, bless him. It is so obvious that what we need is a defensive revamp at this club, and time again the club ignores it. I saw a tweet that Ben and Sim from We Are Tottenham TV put out about the amount of money and players that we've invested in centre backs since 2016, I think it was, and we've basically bought Rodon, Sanchez, Romero. I think that's about it. 3 players, only one of which is any good. And the reason I think this is because from an accounting business point of view, which is all these clowns care about, despite them, you know, turning up to the training session wearing tracksuits, which I thought was absolutely disgusting. These people should be nowhere near Ange Postecoglou and the playing and the coaching staff, let alone having the audacity to turn up in a tracksuit. Look at it. It's horrendous, man. Absolutely horrendous. It stinks. It's attack Tottenham, and you let goals in, don't you? That's all other teams have got to do. And so, from an accounting business point of view, I might be wrong, but I think it's because defenders aren't sexy, are they? They're not sexy. They don't sell shirts. They don't get bums on seats through the gates like a Maddison would, for example. Exciting signing like that got me excited. And so, what's the point in buying them? It's that kind of mentality. You know, why buy a player that no one wants to see? Well, if you want to win something, if you want to be competitive and you want to be in the mix and push for something, then you do have to have defenders. And I don't care if the defenders are the most boring players on earth, which they rarely are if you appreciate the art of defending. But I'd be happy with boring defenders than what we've got. Just boring, competent. Don't let the ball go in the net. That's it. That's my criteria for defenders. Don't let the ball go in the net. That's it. Then kick it up the pitch. I don't care. You know, the only shining light I've kind of got at the moment is that we've got Ange Postecoglou, and there are a few days in the window left, but we're leaving it too late, really. I did a video a few weeks ago saying I had fears that Ange would be starting this season with one arm tied behind his back, and it's looking like that's what's happening. And I still think I think he's the best manager in the world we could have, and I think he will make us play good football. But until we get defenders, man, we're not going to be competitive. We're going to do okay, but we're not going to be in the mix. While we're so leaky at the back that even Singapore McDonald's team can beat us with score against us rather. Sorry, it was only West Ham, that mighty juggernaut from Stratford, that beat us 3-2 by having 4 shots on goal. And that for me is a travesty. We have got such a golden opportunity at Tottenham Hotspur with this manager and the coaching staff he's put in. Mile Jedinak, you know, there's some real steel there. And you know, I'm thankful he's on a 4-year contract, because I think that reduces the chances of Tottenham sacking him, say March. But you know, if it looks like we're not going to get into Champions League football, then they usually sack the manager. We haven't had a manager last a whole season since Poch left. It's just wasting an opportunity for this club to become great again. It really is. And you know, what are we going to do? So, not buy any defenders this transfer window, but say we're going to buy them in January, and then in January we'll say, but just wait for the summer. Wait for the summer. I've been hearing this for years, man. Last year, wasn't it? We were supposed to be getting Bastoni, but we couldn't get him, so we got Longley on loan. But next year, rest assured, don't you worry about it. We've just got him as a stopgap because more defenders are on the market next year. Nothing. And even if we sign them now, they're coming in at the last minute. They've got to be coaching Ange's way. They've got to play his system. And it's just stacking the odds up against him. It really is. So I'm glad Ange is there, though, because at the end of it, Ange likes a challenge. And I tell you what, Ange, mate, you couldn't have picked a bigger challenge than Tottenham Hotspur, man. And I've seen him rise to the challenge so many times that it still gives me hope, because he is the guy for the job. And I think if there's one guy that can succeed at Tottenham or make Tottenham successful despite the absolute clowns and buffoons. They're buffoons, man. They're buffoons. I don't think they're necessarily evil, apart from they're, you know, probably billionaires that don't have any empathy or compassion for fellow human beings. But I don't know if they're necessarily evil. They're just buffoons. They're idiots. So despite all that, Ange is still, I reckon, the person that can make us good again. But, you know, come on Tottenham, man. Come on Tottenham. Bloody help him out a bit, mate. Help him out. Give him the tools he needs. He's not a Conte. He's not a Jose. He doesn't need £100 million players. He needs the bare essentials, which he can craft and sculpt into his own image, into his own team. And it ain't much, man, but we've got to do it. So hopefully, you know, as time ticks on, maybe it'll be a different story tomorrow. Maybe the sun will come up tomorrow. It's barely coming up today, but it will come up tomorrow. Maybe there'll be news of defensive signings, and you know, it'd be better. You know, it might be that this is the lull between pre-season friendlies, while every other club seems to be getting on and playing more matches and playing decent competition. We could have at least scheduled one more game in this time, which we haven't done. You know, when that whistle goes off against Shakhtar, which might well be Harry Kane's last game, and being brutally honest here, and this is a bit heartless, but if Harry Kane deal is done, I don't want him on the pitch for a full half at Shakhtar. This is pre-season serious football business time, right? If he's leaving the club, sure, bring him on for 5 minutes at the end as a sub and then let him say goodbye to everyone. But playing him for any proportion of the match is a complete waste of time man and resources and everything. So, you know, there's still scope for news to brighten up. And when the whistle goes, I'm always excited anyway. But at the moment, man, Tottenham have got to do better. Got to do better. F minus. So until next time, folks, peace and love, man. Peace and love. And come on, you Spurs.